What's going on, friends? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. This is probably going to be a little interesting. So if everything works out as planned, this is going to be the start of a brand new series here on the channel. I am headed right now to take a look at a little surprise. Let's see what we get into. Well, guys, I bought it. This is about to be really, really interesting. Luckily, I am following this tow truck, so worst case scenario, might be able to hitch a ride home with him. You probably can't hear me because of the train in the background, but we didn't make it very far. Like I said, we sprung a leak. Looks like a lot of leaks, actually. So I guess we'll see what's going on here. Alright, so it looks like all of the transmission cooler lines are kind of touching things that move, which is not a good sign to start with. And yeah, there's this coupler here as well, which doesn't look original, so let's do a little bit of digging. Well, made it back home. Let's kind of go over this and see what we got. So I didn't really do a great job of showing you guys just yet, but we got our hands a 60th anniversary edition XJ. And just as I get back from 4 different auto parts stores with all the parts that I need to get started on this, the rain comes in. At least it looks really clean now. I am gonna have to go through and do a full detail, and we'll definitely get this thing shined up really well, and then we'll start modifying. All right, flashing forward a couple hours. I finished the coolant lines, or the transmission cooler lines rather, completely replaced those. Ended up losing quite a bit of coolant, so I'm running to get some more coolant. And while I'm there, I'm going to go ahead and pick up another alternator, because the one that was on this is not very happy. But overall, just got a cheap battery to get it going, and we'll replace the alternator and refill the coolant and refill the transmission, and we should be ready to hit the road. Oh yeah, I should probably catch you guys up. Let me take you back. This 4.0 is not the original 4.0. I was told that when I bought it, and I knew that there was an engine swap that was done at some point. I just kind of thought that they used the same engine. Turns out they didn't. So this engine is from a Jeep TJ instead of an XJ. And because it was from a TJ, the alternator mount point was different than the XJ was. Took me about 3 alternators to figure that out, and to figure out what engine this was. So yesterday after work, I am putting the alternator in, and I am putting the belt back on, got everything ready to go to start the Jeep, and remember that I need to top off the coolant because I lost a little bit of coolant while I was messing with the transmission lines. And immediately as I was topping off the coolant, it started to leak. And that's why we're here now. So now I have a brand new radiator that I'm getting ready to bolt in, and you guys get to watch. It's getting pretty dark on me, but the belt is on, alternator's on, new radiator is in, hoses are all on, new battery. That oil filter looks pretty new. I don't know when they changed the oil on this. I'm definitely going to end up doing it here this weekend probably. And fan is back on, everything's plugged up. Transmission should be pretty close to full. I'm not going to know until I get it on level ground. Let's give it a startup. Well, it's still leaking. Sick. Problem solved. So it's been like 5-6 days of working on the Cherokee. I am headed back to the auto parts store now. Gonna return the alternator core, and then I've got to find out what part I'm missing that will fix the leak in the transmission line, cooler line. It's also raining today, and I don't really feel like getting soaking wet in the rain, so chances are I will not be working on the XJ today, which is fine. I've got some other stuff that I need to do, and we have Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion coming up at the end of next week, so I've got to clean up the JK a little bit and get it ready for that trip. So yeah, that is the plan for now, and we will see where that takes us. All right, friends, 6 days later, I can finally show you what I just bought for the channel. This is a 2001 Jeep Cherokee XJ, the 60th anniversary edition, and it's got a lot of problems. So obviously it needs a little bit of love. It has clearly been parked under a tree or in the woods or somewhere for quite a while, but we'll do a full walk around of it. You can see we actually have a pretty relatively straight Jeep. It still has all of the fenders. Both front and rear bumper have a nice little ding on them, but overall the body of this thing is pretty straight. That's more than I can say for the paint job. However, both the hood and the roof have seen better days. And I thought that I had wrapped up all of the leaks, but I've still got a little transmission leak going on. So I'm probably going to take this up to the shop and throw it on the lift and see if I can't figure that out for good once and for all this coming week. But let's take a look inside. So this is exactly how I got the Jeep. As you can see, it's got the nice cracked windshield, and I mean, as far as the interior goes, got some tears on the seat here. 203,000 miles on the Jeep. That is kind of to be expected. That's actually better than I expected. And the rear, they gave me a couple empty bottles of transmission fluid because it's leaking so much. They have clearly had to replace quite a bit of it. And actually, looks like that is also a transmission cooler line because I guess they attempted to replace it. And I actually did replace them both with new trans-cooler lines. They did tell me that the tailgate, the tailgate will not support itself, probably because there's only one of the two shocks there, and looks like I've got another box of miscellaneous parts and the original jack in the back. So the Jeep definitely needs some work and it needs some love. But I thought this would be an interesting start to a brand new series that I'm calling Save It or Scrap It. But that's what this series is going to be about. Can I buy and restore and build a Jeep for cheaper than I could have bought a sorted Jeep Cherokee? So, with that said, this will be the first of many videos in this series about this 2001 Jeep Cherokee. If you guys like what I'm doing here, you want to see more, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, follow, all of that stuff. Instagram is going to get some updates on this as well. And I know you probably signed up because you saw the flatbed JK, and that was just kind of what got you here and got you in the door. Don't worry, that Jeep is still here. It's not going anywhere. I wanted to add this to the fleet because I felt like I wanted another little project, and frankly, if I can get this thing sorted out and get it right and turn it into my new daily driver, that's exactly what I want to do. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. I sincerely appreciate you sticking around and just kind of seeing all the turmoil and misery that this Jeep has already put me through in the last 6 days of ownership. And I, for one, cannot wait to get to the fun mods on this. That's coming soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next one, and thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned. The next video is probably going to be taking the JK to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee for the Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion event out there. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And until then, I will see you guys in the next one.